Okay, hello everyone. So today we have a game between Dr. Jesus and Danagar. Mm, so and I'm your commentator for today. Um, Let me ask Danagar to pick Orks. So the ban phase was Jesus banned Admech and Danagar banned Soaps. Then Danagar choose Orks and Jesus choose Necrons. Second phase Tau and Eldar for Jesus. And the last one, final picks are Orcs against Necrons. Let's see. Okay, so Danagar has a good spot. We see that he has some science, he has a lot of production, he has food, he has ore. Everything's good for Orc. And Jesus is starting on grassland, but on production. And he has science here, very important. What about the tomes? He has one tomes for energy here and very good ore tome. So if he will find them, he will be in very good spot. Yeah, he's starting from book, so I think it will be book barrack, energy barrack, or something like that. Maybe he will go for heroes. Mm. And let me join the Discord channel. Hi, can you hear me?
Hello?
Yeah, sorry, I didn't know that you will also record, uh, comment the game, so I started without you, but it just first start, so no rest, everything is going okay. Um,
Mhm. I'm not recording, by the way. I'm just here for the co-cast.
okay, and I'm recording, so it should be okay. We see that Danagard goes for Savannah brush on the ore, so he will have a lot of units. He has some early food, and he has two signs close. So maybe he would be able to do his build really early. I don't know. It's a good spot for him, but very good for Jesus. Only the one
We,
thing, yeah.
we're starting with the pile of Dhaka. 20% based on the tile has another 20% because every time you settle a city as an orc, the mech unit dies, so it produces orcroid fungus for 3 turns where it dies. So it's a small boost of food whenever you make the city. And considering the city always produces food, it's something that definitely helps early on.
Yeah. Also, I want to talk about Jesus start. He has here very good ore and here very good energy, but it's the question if he will find them. It's like 3 turns away from his starting city, but his main city can be also an ore city. So yeah, for now he doesn't see any tombs, and it can be complicated because maybe he would ask for a turn 5 because he's not sure if he has some tomes. He don't see any energy. Mm,
He found his first tomb right now, and it's another influence tomb, like the starting one he has, being on grassland. He has production. Production is still pretty good, especially for the first city that's gonna have those production buildings in. Probably 1 or 2
yeah.
summoning codes, maybe 3 early game if he goes for infantry. So he did start with the book, so we might see Temple uh, being teched after some infantry buildings.
Yeah, and just a small information, if you have a good settings, you can see here and here from Jesus position, he would be able to see these two tomes. Yeah, he sees the energy tome, and probably if if his settings is okay, he would be able to see this or so he won't ask for rare, and it's already turn 6, so yeah, no rest for players.
So he cannot free anymore, yeah. We see the summoning core opener as a second building.
Yeah,
Obviously, you want your summoning core at least one because that's where you're gonna be making your canopy spiders to expand. But considering his start has no power, neither on any outpost next to him, nor on the starting tile, not going a power building early on will really hurt his power. He will probably have problem if he wants to continue making units,
Yeah, but
unless he goes in more of a grid playstyle and just makes the summoning core for a spider,
I
and
think
then goes into temple and waits for something else.
I think he will go for energy after this summoning core, so it should be okay for him. And as he got one science and he has some Arctic tiles, so his timing will be very good, and he will be able to produce one Necron Warrior and then start producing the Conaptech.
Yeah, it's gonna be an early expansion, but even with the early expansion, he won't be able to really keep production on 2 or 3 cities and summoning core making infantry at the same time without any more power.
Yeah,
And making the power right now would give him a buffer that he definitely needs because he still doesn't have a single power outpost or power from his city. Making 13 power a turn is very low to maintain even unit production alone. Compared to
yeah,
our
but
orc right now having the 2020 city, his pile of daga will be producing non-stop. Orcs also make ore by killing things, and we'll see the second pile of daga right now being placed.
yeah, we also see that Or goes for granites, so he would be able to clean them up faster, and he has a very good relics. There is a few cultists that can be dangerous, but in general he can clean this relic in the middle one, and also the second relic here. The relic spam is very good for Orc, as he's at least closer for them, and there is no castellans that can stop him from taking the relics early. So yeah, probably we'll see Orc having 3 relics at the same moment, while Necron will have 0-1. And we see that Necron goes for energy, as you suggested. He definitely need one more energy, and due to the fact that he is on production bonus, he's building the energy much faster. So if you check the production, some cogs was saved from previous buildings. So yeah, he's doing it really fast. And the only issue that can happen that his growth is 5 turns, and he will finish his building uh, in 3 turns.
Yeah, it's he's gonna be overcapped and forced to turn off the Forbidden Archive or the power building for a few turns. That's why going for the energy core first would accumulate more energy, and considering he will have to turn a building off, making the summoning core after the power core and possibly after opening another tile and then going for the summoning core would end up with him having no population problems
No,
and
no,
also five more turns.
it doesn't affect because you build you do you build a 24 corks building and 36 cork buildings anyway, so uh, it doesn't really change mm, your build.
No, no, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about him making the power early before the
Yeah,
summoning core to stock up on power, then opening another tile, and then making the summoning core, which would result in one less Necron warrior, but it will also result in a massive amount of power
yeah.
compared to what he will have.
Yeah, but again, you are playing against Orc and you are afraid of early aggression, so you have to get at least a few extra units. We see that he goes for Immortals, um, and they can stay on city tiles and can be really good against boss.
We see the Orc player has killed the Enslaver in the middle, who's going to be able to acquire his first relic. He
Yeah,
has also teched Commando Camp, so we might see a War Boss following up the Mech Blitzyard. That's probably going to be his third building. Yeah, the
and
Immortal is an important unit in this matchup, but as we can see, because of the population, he will be forced to turn off the Summoning Core for 2 turns.
yeah,
So if he had gone first for the Energy Core and then opening up a tile and then getting the Summoning Core, it would have been much more smooth for him. considering he has literally almost no resources right now.
Uh,
And even the first immortal will take some time to arrive. And if
I
he was afraid of early pressure from the Orcs and he wanted a lot of units, he could have skipped the book, opened straight into energy core, and then energy and then summoning cores
Yeah,
to
but
be able to have a
this
bigger
build
advantage on units.
slows you a lot. And for example, if Orc doesn't play very aggressive and goes, for example, with Book, uh, then there can be possibility that he will outscale you with Meganobs. You need to get Corptex, otherwise you are not able to fight against Orc.
Yeah, that is true that Meganobs provide a problem, but it's also kind of a coin flip on the matchup not having early information of what your opponent is doing. It will still be better for him if he opened no book, if the orc opens no book as well. And it will be better for him if he opens book, if the orc opens book as well. So he's playing it in a safer way for the possibility of the orc opening book, but he's limiting himself early game by the same uh, for the same reason.
Mm, yeah, maybe he should first take the grasslands, so it will start giving him extra loyalty. I'm not sure, or maybe he should go for science. In this way, you can go if you start on the Arctic. You can go something like energy and double production to be aggressive, and you have enough science to not delay your expansion at all.
While it would be an option to get the early settle because only one turn away on the Arctic tile, getting energy into production currently is not gonna really let him produce that much because he's quite behind still in power. Just one power working, still not a single power outpost, not even a +1 from power. And his starting city not having access to power is it's gonna be really tough for him to keep producing immortals, especially that are more expensive than warriors from multiple towns, and keep producing the buildings. Next turn, we also have a new summoning core being built, but he will be 4 turns away from the next population. So are we gonna see another? Are we gonna see the energy core being turned off? Are we gonna see the summoning core being turned off? Or are we gonna see maybe the crane being turned off for a few turns because he is so far behind on growth because of the production and not getting any tiles?
I think that he should have his spider really soon. Maybe he's thinking about turn off even a book for a few turns. Yeah, he's turning off the
Yeah.
book, and I think he will have spider in 2 turns, so he will produce 2 spiders. Uh, Almost in a row, and he can go for 2 cities. This one city, uh, it can give some extra ore, but he has this awesome city, so I'm pretty sure he will go for it. He needs 1, 2, 3 turns to get to this city, so yeah, he definitely have to go for that cities.
He will be able to instantly produce the first spider using influence, and he will get both his spiders early, but
Uh,
the towns cost
he just
40 and 80, so he's nowhere near being able to have the power to put up 2 towns. Yeah, we have the spider right now instantly being produced.
Yeah, he
Uh,
just used his rapid rise for immortal, so he saved extra production for spider. And 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. He just one tile away to place energy city. Yeah, he's going for first energy city, and then he will go for ore city. Uh, it's good luck for him that he stopped clearing the meat, because otherwise Orc would be able to see him. And we see that Orc was lucky enough with getting a science, so he went like double production. Then he took the ore outpost, and now he's able to go for Megbit's yard. So his expansion wouldn't be that much delayed uh, from in compare with Necron's one.
Yeah, that's the standard orc opening. If you want to go early game, your first tier 2 tech is going to be the mech Blitzyard, and to get those cities down, because orc can have quite a lot of ore stacked up from killing neutrals, and obviously influence is never a problem for ore until he builds heroes. And we might see after the mech Blitzyard straight into a commando camp, or maybe into food, because he's a bit behind on food, and we have teched tankbusters as the second tier 2 unit. Tankbusters are a bit more expensive than boys, and he's going to acquire a tile. We don't know which tile after the mech Blitzyard. If he's acquiring the 40% tile, it's probably going to be for some food buildings,
Yeah, the question is
or
where.
acquiring another tile, because the tile he's building already has 40% food, and he's acquiring another tile just to drop his commando camp without wasting the 40% food that he can later use for either
Yeah,
another pile of taka or food building.
yeah. Maybe he will delay his heroes as he's going for food here. So the question is where the orc will place his city. There is two good cities on production with some food bonuses. Uh, and they are also good because orc can control the map with these cities.
Mhm.
And he will soon see the second relic. Yeah, just one tile closer and he will see it. The question uh, is he ready to go like 3 turns to play his city, or he will go for some safer option, for example, maybe even here, closer to his starting location, or this can be his or city. Uh, I'm still not sure what he would like to go for.
I think we're gonna see at least one city on production, because orcs can easily afford 2 city unit production. So after that, he might opt to go for a more economically superior city on or volcanic, or he might decide to go for another production city, because later in the game, when orc scale, because orc will scale pretty well, eventually he will be able to have all 3 cities producing units from about 3 pile of takas. The Necron did go the power outpost on the volcanic. That's a very good city, and he will need it to stabilize his power production, because he started with no power and
Yeah,
he delayed his original power outpost. He's clearing the tile.
yeah,
I believe he's clearing the tile because he didn't have resources to make another building.
and
And we might be seeing more summoning cores on that side,
yeah,
considering it's a production tile.
he will definitely stop building anything in his main city as he need uh 80 ore. Will he have enough? Yeah, if he don't do anything in his main city, he would be able to place his third city enough. And sometimes it's okay to delay production for a few turns, but uh, why uh, why Recav is so good for Necron? We see that he has uh, zero relics. He has one city placed, and he has like minus zeros loyalty penalty. So very good for him.
Yeah, the barracks of the Necron giving loyalty is a very strong effect, uh, keeping you uh, keeping that loyalty malus from stacking up and lowering the production value of your buildings. Also, the 20% extra loyalty on the city definitely helps more on factions that have extra loyalty on buildings.
Yeah,
Necrons also have extra loyalty on the crane, which also adds up. But he will have to, yeah, take a few turns away from production. He opted to go for another spider, which will delay his second city for 2 more turns. We're gonna see his third city being placed at turn 26 if he doesn't cancel the extra spider.
I think he will
And
cancel this spider. He have to. Let's
and
just check.
then all of this is the decision early game to go for the summoning core before the power. Again, he got a single Necron warrior out because he would still be able to make the immortal. And for that single Necron warrior, now he has to stop production on his city or delay his third city. And he's opting to delay his third city. He started building a summoning core on his main town. So that will delay his second city to turn 27 if he doesn't either
Mm,
cancel something
no, no. If he
or
just don't do anything, he has plus 35 energy, so it will be just enough for him to um
to get it next step.
yeah, to get it turn 26. It's okay for him, but as we see, he found three Umbras, so he won't be able to go for Relic. And I'm pretty sure that he now knows that Orc is on the left side of the map. That's why he is going to the neutrals because he needs some extra time for him.
Mhm. Though a bit unlucky on the neutrals, what he sees in front of him is a pack of four Ambras and a Bast. Not something you can really push with the units he currently has. So he will have to go through the middle if he wants to continue uh, taking map control. You can't really push Umbras. And the Bastion is something that Necrons can't push because of the ghost straight on their weapons, but it's still gonna take time. So yeah, he's opting to go towards the middle side. He should turn off Overwatch right here. Yeah, he did turn off Overwatch on his units because accidentally shooting Umbras would be disastrous. Uh, we did have the spider come out, and instantly he is starting producing death marks.
Yeah,
So the third city is not gonna see the light of day for a long time now.
yeah, and
I think that's not the best decision. He should have gotten the third city and delayed his production 1 or 2 turns because the third city itself produces more power, which will let him get back into the game better.
yeah, and
Yeah.
especially now there is no Simov. He has some army to clean neutrals, so you don't really need this army. But we also see that Orc don't has his second city also, but he would be able to clean the relic very soon.
Orc going for the food building. We're not gonna get an early commando camp for a hero. He's started producing tank busters right now. Tank busters are pretty good versus Necrons. Necrons having more armor than your average faction. The Work Boys still do pretty good damage versus Necron warriors. Tank busters have also range too, so it's much easier to finish off units from range too and have a backline for your boys. And finishing off units for Necrons is very important as they automatically heal, and it's effortless to just pull your unit back for a turn or two, and then the unit will come back fully healed. But yeah, the decision of delaying his third city for so long to get basically one more infantry unit in the death marks he's building right now is a very odd decision, and I think it's gonna hurt him in the end. If he goes back and watches this game, he will realize I would have been much better uh, putting the city down early.
Also, maybe
Deathmark's also not the best versus orcs.
I
While
think
snipers are always good versus infantry.
they are very good against orcs because they have immortals armor, yeah, and you are pretty sure that he will have some infantry. Uh, as orcs, so maybe there will be heroes, maybe there will be mechs. Also, some units from his armory is also infantry. So,
Yes, it
oh,
is.
very unlucky for Jesus. The dogs just keep it, run away from him and catch his Necron warrior. And the reason why they see him is because it was clear to these gates. So when you are standing close to the gates or other neutrals, they share vision. So the dogs knew that Yeah, that he will mm, that he's low HP, and they have something like script that force them to finish unit uh, with low uh, with low HP. And we see that Jesus is making very good play. He's taking this influence. He's getting +2 resources, and he doesn't attack this dog. It's very important because in case he will attack the dogs, they will be low HP and they will just run away, and he won't be able to finish them.
That's right, and the dogs in isolation won't do that much to Necron warriors. And
Yeah,
considering the dogs attacked him next previous turn, he knows that there is no more dogs lurking around that could potentially come out.
yeah,
He also placed his third city finally, and now he's on a healthy +51 energy. But losing that Necron warrior early did definitely hurt him, and opening this way as well. That extra Necron warrior he had was what he gained by delaying power, and he lost the advantage he got by delaying power. So now he's overall behind compared to having made the power early on,
yeah. But
which
again,
is unfortunate.
he got his like very good cities for Necrons. He has one city on production. It's very good for him. He has how much 80% ore city, and he has 40 energy city. So it's something like gold start, and we see that dogs are also dealing damage to uh, Danagar. So how many units lost? Danagar just also lost one boy. Mm, Not that bad for him, but he didn't expect 4 dogs. Also, maybe Jesus didn't expect 4 dogs because he damaged one, he killed one, and he was thinking, okay, there is one dog, it can't kill my Necron warrior, but there was 2 dogs, so really unlucky for him.
Uh, Jesus is forced, as we said earlier, to also clear through the middle because the top side has Umbras and Bastion. So after he clears this pack of the 3 Vespids that's next to him, there's only a pack of 2 Poxwalkers, and then basically our 2 players have met.
Yeah,
Orc will finish clearing the bottom side, only an Enslaver and a Cultist left, and he will get access to his second relic. The third relic is a bit hard to be obtained by both players, having 2 packs of Umbras on either side, and then Slaver, and a pack of Neophyte hybrids.
yeah, but you can
So we
for Jesus it's more comfortable because he can go in this direction, yeah, and ignore this for Umbras. But um, Danagar he can't go through these 3 Umbras, yeah. And he has all his army getting what relic? Mm,
I don't think we're gonna see anyone actually capture this relic, at least in the early game, because the players will soon meet each other, and Jesus does not know that this relic is there. He has not spotted it. Uh,
yeah,
Donogar can actually see it through the fog of war
yeah, he can
because
see
he
it.
is one tile away, but he doesn't have any forces there to actually tackle it. So I think he's gonna leave it for now. So we might see the first engagements happen in the middle before we see contention of that relic.
Yeah,
Now,
and
Donagar also has 2 Umbras next to him in the middle, which is definitely annoying, but he doesn't have forces to easily tackle them. He could
I
have
think
a few
after
Berna boys.
yeah, sorry, after
Berna boys,
he
yeah.
got certain booster, he would be able to kill it. I mean, just a few of them getting overwatched, and then one overwatch, they come to you and you finish them. So should be much easier for him to obtain. But yeah, continue about Burning Burst. Sorry for interrupting.
Berna boys would be able to deal with Umbras pretty smoothly, considering they do flame and Umbras take double damage to flame. And they have also 100% accuracy, which will be less punishing versus the flying that Umbras are, lowering the accuracy of ranged weapons that do not have Skyfire. And here we see him actually starting to hit the Umbras. He knows the other Umbra is further away, so Umbras have only 2 movement speed, cannot hurt him this turn. So he decided to try to take one down. He will take damage to one of his tank busters, but another unit of tank busters is behind, so this Sombra will be finished off.
Yeah, and he has Orgoid Fungus, so he should be able to
Yeah.
heal himself.
We see the commando camp as the next building option after the food. He kinda wants the commando camp early, probably going for that war boss. He has a lot of influence to gear up the war boss, and the war boss is kind of a cheap hero, so it's easy to include him almost in every time
Yeah.
without really any problems, and he's gonna pay up value. Uh, Giving him an axe, maybe he will be able to one-shot the Necron low-tier infantry units very easily.
Yeah, that's true. The only issue can be that there will be not that much neutrals to farm as he's finishing these umbers. He will get his relic soon. So yeah, maybe only issues of this type. Uh, he find cultists. He will get relic soon, but we haven't discussed his second city. He put it on the desert. Yeah, and do you think it's for going mm, for some
The only thing I
air
can
in the
think,
future?
the only thing I can think for the desert tile is stacking up research, not research, stacking up power would be a very nice way to go into Dakat set. So some form of mixed army composition, maybe backtaking Cult of Speed and getting himself a few uh, uh, choppers. But I don't know about the choppers versus Necrons because Necrons both going vehicle or going infantry. The Tesla Necrons, Immortals, or Barges are very good versus choppers, and the choppers are not that good versus Immortals, and their bomb is not is much more effective versus units that don't have that much armor.
Yes, that's true. Also, I'm thinking that Danagar probably should place his city here. It was also seven tiles available, but he will get extra food, uh, extra, or what is important, and he will have production tiles closer for him, so he can do some productions here in case he need it.
That is what I would have be expecting as well, because he can simply then use that city to get the production tiles to make more pile of dakas, and his third city could be placed on foot. Maybe
Yeah.
he actually, maybe he actually mistakenly placed the city one tile away, or he is expecting to build one or two ore buildings and then get the extra requisition
Yeah,
range for the tiles to
but
be
you
able to get the tile for production anyway.
Yeah, but he has ore here. So, for example, if you place on 410, you can build your ore on 39. Uh, no issues for him, and there is also some. His main city can be an ore city, as he has some bonuses. I'm not sure, but for now he has a lot of production, and Necron is getting his. Oh my God, he's getting his fifth score. So.
Yeah,
That's
fifth core. He has a lot of power and he's getting a second power building on his second city. So he will be able to keep producing ore wise, but he will need to start building some power wise, sorry. But he will need to get some more buildings very soon because he's already on the negative. And uh, unless we see some rapid rising, we might go towards the negative ore by the time ore is being built. We have heavy destroyers being teched. They are very good in this matchup to be able to kill heroes. Maybe he is expecting a war boss or
all.
maybe vehicle play.
Yeah, and also even if or goes infantry, there can be some killer cancers or death dread. So you definitely need a few heavy destroyers. Otherwise, you won't be able to
To
compare him.
tackle those targets. Yeah.
The question
Yeah.
for me is, he is not going for pops, but he land pops. Yeah, as tier 2 tech. So that's really a question for me. Will he turn off his energy and then go for a pop, or he will play on 6 pops gameplay?
That is a good question. He got the Immortals as well on tier 2. There is not that many units on tier 2 if you're going on the infantry path yet that you need. The only other options that you can go is for the newly added Reanimator. But Reanimator is more of a support unit for bigger armies, being able to regenerate a lot of units, and currently his army consists of 5 units. These numbers are very low compared to our orc player. The other option he could get at tier 2 would be the Dimensional Corridor, being able to teleport a unit back to save it instead of losing it if it's trapped in combat and he cannot retreat it a few tiles back.
Yeah.
So, considering the tech competition is not very good, he might have gotten settlers just to have the option. But we also might see the crane or the power building get turned off. We'll either see the crane get turned off, then capping his city at 6, or the power turned off and uh, starting making the pop to expand his city. The orc did get his second relic on the bottom side of the map.
And he's going for third one. Uh, Jesus still didn't see this relic, so he's thinking that he's just super unlucky. But if we compare the upkeep here, for now Orc has 13, Necron has 12, yeah, and he has like twice more production now. I mean, uh, not really twice, but he has 4 walking production with extra attack on on recap.
Production tiles.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm,
He definitely has more production, but the upkeep doesn't tell the whole story right now because the orc has a lot more units, and
um,
if these units would be able to attack and surround the Necron force, it would be very easy to clear
um,
it out. And
yes,
we're also going into
sorry,
some
sorry to
destroyers.
interrupt. Just a
Yeah.
few moment. He Orc just could see now that there was Overwatch on this unit from Necron, and he can understand the damage. So probably he shows that there are some death marks there. So he got some
He
information.
can understand as well uh, for his vision that uh, it could have been a range trade, but it was if he was paying attention to that side, the Tesla carbines have a very specific, or the Necron warriors very specific animation, so he could tell that this is death marks. Yeah.
Yeah, and
Uh,
also just check these units are now damaged, yeah, and they are
mhm,
looking in this direction, yeah. So
mhm.
what does it mean that units start looking, uh, yeah,
In the direction of, and
of
now he sees the death marks as well,
yeah,
getting overwatched by them. Didn't respect the Overwatch if he knew that there was a unit there, but maybe considering Sim hasn't been called yet, he simply doesn't care. The Orc boy can just move back into Fungus and he will be healed up in no time. And Jesus, until the Sims is called, is not allowed to try to finish off this boy by simply shooting it.
and we see that Orc is going in this direction, and he will probably go for city. On some of these tiles, he has rocks here. Does he has any rocks? He has 4, so he can produce some ore on this city. Maybe he will go for this tile. I am not sure, but yeah, he's going for that
I
place.
would prefer one of these two tiles, considering it will also give some food bonus to the main building, and that's always helpful for Orc. We see the Warboss is going to be out in 4 turns, and he has also teched the Pain Boy at tier 3. Pain Boy, very useful hero in Orc infantry play. It can reduce the upkeep of Orc units in the area from 25 to 75, depending on the level of the ability. And Orc units have food upkeep, except for the mechanical ones. So reducing their upkeep is a good way to simply being able to keep producing them without investing that much into food.
Yeah, and we see that he just learned the cult of
Yeah.
speed. So probably he'll go firstly for ore in his city. He's taking the volcanic tile, and then no, now he's taking another tile. So he will go for production there. So some infantry uh, combined with no, how it's called, the tier 5 transport. I forgot its name. Battle wagon.
The battle wagon.
Yeah.
Might also be thinking of eventually being able to uh, produce aircraft. That's why he went for the 40% power city in the desert.
But
We might
again,
also see some death
he
copters.
I'm thinking that there will be no aircraft for few reasons. First of all, he doesn't have a boy. He doesn't have any signs around him, and the best air is tier 8, so he won't be able to reach it. At least in the next 70 turns. I think so.
It will take a long time for him to reach it, but maybe he has it in the back of his mind. Also, getting a lot of power. We see that he backed a Cult of Speed. We do not know if he has a second tier 3 tech. Maybe he
Sorry.
backed a Cult of Speed. He backed the Cult of Speed. And we don't know if he has a second tier 3 tech
Uh,
other than the Weird Boy, which means he could probably back the Cult of Speed to then take the Copters at tier
that's
3
true, but
to start making quite a few because they are cheaper on ore, having split the cost with energy. And he's banking a lot of energy right now, so being able to use it to produce units is going to be to his benefit.
yeah.
And he has stopped making any boys going full into tank busters, so he kind of needs something that's also good versus infantry, which the Death Copper could fill as a role.
The only issue about Devcopter is that you skip +2 armor for your boys and for your Warboss on tier 3. So this can be an issue for him.
Oh, he has teched heavy armor as well. So we
He
might
has,
see
yeah.
three techs. We might see three techs on tier 3 if he decides to go for that. We also see that Jesus has tech spiders, not spiders, scarabs. And for that, he's making a few spiders to have some scarabs running around. He's still a bit on problem on your side. Obviously, Necrons always start with they're getting the tier 1 tech for the stronger roll buildings. So he will be able to stabilize it soon enough.
Yeah,
And he's making.
he has this tech and he's making ore, and I guess he will have just enough influence to rapidize his second ore in time, or maybe he has no. So there is a question now. He got heavy destroyers, he got scarabs on tier 4, and the question is, what does he want to get on tier 5? Does he want to go for cheaper rapidize, or he will go directly for infantry armor, or maybe he's going to do some rights, as they can be very good, especially against tank buster and heroes like pain boy. So you just send two rights, you sacrifice them, but you kill the pain boy, and there is no healing or there is no free upkeep units for him. So this unit can
I think we might actually see Race because he has enough power to keep producing them right now, and he hasn't been producing that much infantry units outside of spiders to have ready for scarabs. And yeah, Wraiths are tough to deal with early orc units, and also they deal very good damage versus things that don't have armor. And early orc units tend to not have armor. The only problematic unit that he still doesn't know that exists, but he might know it's on the way, will be the Warboss, being able to one-tap them with a few levels and some items.
yeah, that's true. So I think, and from my experience playing with Jesus and communication with him, he's thinking that it is a better unit. So probably he will ignore them and go into something like rapid infantry armor, cheap rapid rise, and after that he will go directly into the Praetorians, because Praetorians are very good, especially against such kinds of low-level orcs army.
Yeah, Praetorians would be safer option to Wraiths and more of a mainline unit. He might go straight for them, but that's gonna be a lot of turns away, needing to tier 5 decks and then the tier 6 deck. Uh, we see he's going into more death marks right now. He just made a single destroyer, and considering he doesn't know what he's up against, he's not over investing into them, which is a good thing. Though I would like to see two of them being pre-made, as they will be able to threaten a warboss in case of a warboss. But he currently needs to get a few anti-infantry units out because he simply doesn't have a lot of units. Orc is taking his time, taking them up. He's not moving towards the enemy. We see on the his third town Cult of Speed being made. We see on his
And
second town Cult of Speed being made.
let me discuss this culture speed. I think that it can be a mistake. Of course, you want more production, but again, he's kind of low on his ore. Yeah, he has a lot. He has a big bank of energy for deathcopters, and probably they will be deathcopters, as we don't see any melee armor penetration on orcs now, on orc boys. But again, he will be low on ore, so maybe it would be better for him to continue doing this, to continue doing ore in his second city and just focus on production in his third city.
Maybe he's thinking that the fighting is gonna eventually start, and orcs want to trade the units early on because they're gonna get some more out of it. Maybe he's waiting for Jesus to make a move. Jesus has made the good decision of waiting for the orc because the orc wants a lot of small engagements from here and there, trading units, banking that orc from their scavenger passive. He doesn't want inactivity. The orc can be a bit starved or wise if a lot of inactivity is happening. But I think the orc player Dangar here is Danagar is thinking a bit ahead on yeah, he might have some slight or problems currently, but he needs those production buildings to be up by the time he can produce units to be able to maintain enough production to tackle the Necron player.
Yeah, and to be honest, for now, if you check the upkeep and just compare the armors, Necron has much stronger army, and he if he knew that, yeah, you never know what is your enemy's upkeep. He would be able to go ahead and take some outposts, but as we see, he's just staying in position, cleaning the tiles around his city, so he would be able to protect this. As we see, he took some extra tiles around his city, yeah, like here or here, so he would be 100% sure that he is able to protect his city. And what is very good about these marks, that if you have them, you can always teleport instantly in your city tile and be ready to fight. Yeah, we see that now he's thinking, he saws that orc is staying, he's not going anyway, so he's
He's
he's going ahead, yeah.
looking around to see what's happening. The orc has been passive from his perspective. He hasn't been doing anything. He knows that the orc probably has most of the map at this point, and the orc does have most of the map except for the top right corner being protected from those two packs of Umbras having two bastions. It's very hard to tackle for both players currently. So the extra tiles on the cities, I think they're also a bit of a timing of not having power. So he wants to keep producing things from his crane, so he's getting a few tiles. And we see on the main town that he did turn off the crane, staying at 6 population currently, to keep producing units and having that power building working.
Yeah.
He might keep, uh, he might eventually rapid rise population building because as Necrons you can rapid rise even with your crane turned off. to be able to continue producing when he has some excess influence stacked in the bank.
Yeah, that's
But
true,
for
but
now, he's more focused on the unit.
the issue is that he have to turn on kind of at least for one turn to get tile because he's out of the tiles, and also I have just calculated all the tiles that they have, and Orc has around 20 or 21, I'm not sure, and Necron has 17 tiles. So Danagar just got lucky that he has two relics. I mean, not lucky. It's the fact
Yeah.
that he was cleaning it and started from two barracks. But Jesus doesn't lose that much in terms of outposts.
Yeah, he has some pretty good map control. He could have even more if he decided to skip the book, but he got his towns set up a bit earlier. Uh, he could he technically doesn't have to enable his crane to get the tile to build the population because he can also rapid rise the tile
Ah, yeah, yeah,
if
yeah.
he wants to. But that's even more influence that currently he doesn't have. He's making a good amount of influence per turn, but I think he might be rapid rising some uh, other things on his secondary cities. We see infantry armor for the Necrons has been teched, so this is the first tier 5 tech he opted to go for. No cheaper rapid rise or wraiths.
Also,
And
Necron just can, if he will go scout now, he would be able to see free relics. So why scarabs are so good? You can just produce them and send them, and they take the relic and they hold the relic without any issues. So yeah.
well, scarabs are definitely uh, problematic to kill for a few units, but orc boys with stick bombs and tank busters actually do pretty good damage
That's true.
from range to scarabs. And you don't really want to throw away your scarabs. They are decently expensive as well on 20 power, and Jesus is. It's not like he has power to throw away right now.
Yeah, he also
Uh,
big tagged on T3 the tech for extra energy, so he's getting like 3 energy or something like that from this tech. Maybe 3.5, what is good for him. But why I was talking that this extra production can be a mistake from for Orc, because now there is no any trials that he can farm. Yes, there are a few umbers there, but if you check, he have to go to fight and farm something. Otherwise, he won't be able to get some extra ore. Like, I think he was getting something like +2, +3 ore each turn. But
yeah,
now,
he does have plus 35 ore, and considering the second basis, making the cult of spades is gonna still take 3 turns and 4 turns for those buildings to be made. And his main city is producing. He has some ore in the bank. I don't think he's gonna run into ore problems very soon. He will obviously run at some ore problems at some point if he doesn't fight. But now he's probably thinking of getting to fight soon enough. The war boss is out. I'm guessing he's gonna go to the trader next to his force to gear him up. He cannot move there next turn. He will have to wait 2 more turns to get there. He did give him the item he had found, probably going to sell the item to exchange it for other items. And we have a pain boy on the way too.
that's true, but I think he would probably wait for Paintboy, or maybe he will even send Warboss to farm that Umbers and get the third because plus, no, now he can't go anyway because he sees that Necrons were coming for his relic, and Scarabs now will just go take some place, and snipers now will make some difference because Orc has no units that can easily take their Overwatch, and they are range 3. So for example, if you run and try to kill something, you will get this Overwatch.
And snipers are a very good unit defending versus orcs, but depending on how Jesus plays this, if he doesn't move up as well, the orc simply doesn't have to move up. He can at least wait a bit in a staring match. As we can see, the scarabs went down. He doesn't want to just move the scarabs next to so many tank busters because you're just gonna lose the scarabs for free. I think we have. I think he wants a few more units before he engages Jesus. He is making about 1 unit a turn right now.
Yeah. He's
So
he has 35 production when his most expensive unit costs 36.
yeah,
And
that's
yeah,
very good for now.
the only issue is that he has so low energy. He need one more energy bundle. And I have to agree with you. If you start on production, he should go for book energy and then go for double barrack. It would be much better for him. Yes. Okay, orcs are farming. Yeah, orc will get his second relic soon, very soon. Third relic, yeah.
So
And orc now with third relic, he will have something like -2 loyalty penalty. So map control is very important in 1 versus 1 because in 2 versus 2, like on the settings on the map, you usually have 3 relics also, or sometimes if people play on low relics, there are 4. But there is big difference when one player is getting 3 relics and enemy has 0 relics, while in 2 versus 2 you won't give all 3 relics to one player, so the difference will be not that high, and probably your
so
enemy will have 1 relic also.
also a big difference on 2v2 and 1v1 and why map control is very important. 2v2 has bigger armies because there's more players on the map. So if you're out of position and the enemy team, both players decide to attack you, you have a much larger force that can actually push faster and do problematic damage, even taking out cities. But
uh
1v1, having smaller armies allows for more.
and we see,
Needs.
sorry, just interrupted because the fight is starting. We see that he's doing interesting moves. He has some uh, death marks for Overwatch, and he's teleporting new one just to start killing orc units. Uh, he
You can finish
teleported
off
this.
the.
Yeah, sorry, go.
You can finish off the Orc Boy
Yeah,
right now. Uh, he might decide against it to keep more Overwatch, but if he doesn't finish off the Orc Boy, the Orc can simply move one tile back with the two Tank Masters, and the Necron will still have to move again.
yeah.
He decides to go for a model on the Tank Masters. Not a bad idea to pick off a few Orc models because, unlike the Necrons, the Orcs are not gonna magically heal their model at the start of their next turn,
That's true,
so chip
but
damage
he's
will add up.
also lucky that he has like one, two, three, 4. Yeah, he has like 4 tiles where he can heal his units close to the fireplace. So not that bad news for him. I mean, some extra healing, and it's equal to Necron's healing. Yeah, on the
Yeah. I'm gonna see a death mark moving in to finish off the boy. I think
no,
we are uh, moving one at 12, 12, 4.
no.
Might be a bit.
He
Yeah, he
doesn't
entered
want,
that.
no. He wants to buy Orc to go into him because he has so much Overwatch power, and Orc has uh nothing to compare with this. But Orc has his own plan. He needs his Warboss. Probably there will be an axe, so he would be able to one shot infantry. Let's check. I
Yeah, that,
think there will be axe. Not sure, but maybe.
while the Orc boss is very strong, it's also not a unit that you're gonna go in to take Overwatch with.
Yeah.
So he definitely needs either
Ah,
to wait a bit and have the Orc, uh, the Necron push into him and abandon his position. He did kill a unit of scarabs next to the outpost. we're gonna have the first cult of speed being finished the next turn, so we can see if he has taken the death copters or what he plans to do with the cult of speed. And we're getting a third pile of Taka on the main town to produce more boys and tank busters. Always good. Orc mixed is a pretty decent build because with 2 or 3 pile of Takas you can get a lot of early tier units like boys and tank busters, and
I,
then you can transition into vehicles.
I think that you are right about Devcopters because he has no radius, we don't see it at least. He has no extra infantry penetration, there is no crown and other attacks, so probably he just took bombs for now for Devcopters, so he produced his. Oh, very unlucky for Danagar because the Umbras decided to kill his tank booster.
We
And
also see that he has taken the tank buster bombs. I believe that's tier 4 as well.
yeah, that's true.
So maybe the 2 upgrades on tier 4 were the 2 bombs.
And we see that yeah, he just saw the relic, so this means that he's sending a few units. Uh, the funny thing is that now he can produce scrap, send them, and just take the relic from Orc. Because there is no non-flying neutrals around them, so if you just check this, you can take them.
Yeah, yeah,
The
that
question
is true.
is that he has no energy. Maybe it's time to stop building ore and send this car up to get this loyalty. I'm not sure because getting loyalty,
He could definitely delay his own return considering he's positive on Earth.
yeah,
Uh, and he could tell that he can get the relic because if he just takes a hold of one of his units and right clicks it, it's blue,
he can,
which
yeah,
means he can take it.
uh, he can also teleport the death mark that he just summoned and take the relic.
That's also possible.
He's just thinking about this if he need, because if he teleports this death mark it can be a signal to orcs that run, we have an army to fight
Yeah.
again. But he doesn't know that warboss doesn't have one extra movement to go in. And of course, Warballs want a few levels. There is the bad news for Danagar is that he was cleaning the map so good that he there is no gates for him to kill, and he's missing like 0.2 experience for Warboss. Also, if we just check the unit skills, Orc had 49 unit skills on turn 39. Yeah, so if we do some small calculations, he gets from this around 150 ore, and now he's not getting any ore until he starts the fire.
He's doing well on ore though currently. We have a Devcopter being produced from one of the culture speed. He did get the Devcopters and he already has 100 ore stacked in the bank.
That's true.
Uh, the next culture speed will be out next turn, and he decides to go for an acquisition tile instead of a second cult of speed on his third down. He might be thinking to go for an ore building because that's a 40% ore tile. He also considering he is going into ore and he should be around tier 5 tech and has pile of Dakas up and running. And he sees the enemy has a lot of death marks. We might see some death dreads, which the current army of Necrons will have a lot of problems dealing with as he only has a single destroyer.
That's true, and to be honest, I think he doesn't even saw this destroyer. But on the other hand, having battle wagons early can be a huge advantage for him. And we
But
see,
wagon will also be good.
yeah, because you can run in the front, and we see that he's just giving this um, relic to a Necron and preparing for counter attack. So at some point, yeah, uh, Jesus went in very safe position for him because Uh, when he stay here with the spider, he knows that Orc can't attack from the east direction or from the north direction. Only the west is around him. And this turn, Jesus got like two relics, so now his echo uh, will become much better.
Now we
And
see
yeah,
the second tech he takes on tier 5 is the Wraiths. He has unlocked Canopy Wraiths right now, so we might see a few of them being produced. And now that he has a big army that can fight, having a few Wraiths that can go in, finish troops, do some good morale damage, is going to be pretty good. Wraiths are not good in isolation because they're not very cost effective, but if you already have army, having a few Wraiths behind it can be very strong. So we might see a few Wraiths being built. They will also be very good versus the Deathcopters, as the Deathcopters are not going to be doing much damage versus them.
so we see 31 upkeep from Jesus against 23 upkeep from Orc, and um, it's also according to the fact that Orcs opened with double production.
Mhm. Yeah, the Orc is he might be feeling a bit behind considering he sees a big Necron army in the middle that doesn't feel confident that he can actually take. So he might be waiting for some sort of answer, maybe a few battle wagons to move in, take Overwatch, and then move his units out as battle wagons are as all transports. So you don't lose your movement moving out, and that will make him be able to do some very effective attacks. As the biggest part of the Necron army is Deathmarks that are range 3, so they will all attack the War Wagon, and they will all deal no damage to the War Wagon. Or he might be waiting for some bigger infantry units like Death Dreads that can also take Overwatch, but then Death Dreads are not very effective at killing infantry. They are more of a single target killer. Or
But
he
maybe
might just be biding his time.
they can be very good against raids if Jesus will produce them.
Yeah,
He just reprised his energy and he will go for another energy. So he's just playing regular 6 Pops gameplay. Hmm. I think
he
it will
also
work.
has opted to go for second destroyer right now. He probably feels confident enough with the amount of snipers he has. He has some immortals, has one Necron warrior to be able to move in front to contest some outposts, contest the relic that he got, while the snipers wait in Overwatch behind. Still has the three spiders. There is no scarabs currently on the field, but two of the spiders are not on cooldown and can produce scarabs if he wants. Scarabs also are one of the summons that are not summons, so they stay on the field. So he could have more units if he had made a few scarabs and kept them alive.
Yeah. Also,
Uh,
what is a very good play for him is now to summon a Scarab and go and take these signs, because you don't want to let Orc take this, as probably now he sees that the WAC is going down, so the WAC is level 3 and he knows that there is a hero, probably Warboss. So yeah, he just went with his Canoptic Spider to take this artifact. What
he probably
did he
feels
did?
safe on that side because the orc is not gonna walk into the Umbras.
Yeah,
But the Umbras could have a panic moment and kill his spider. So not entirely safe for the spider.
that's true.
The Overwatch is off, so the chances are very small. But we have a Wraith being produced. He can produce almost a Wraith a turn with the
Yeah,
with.
he
Oh,
swapped
he
into
decided
Tassos.
against it. Yeah, he decided against it. He probably is thinking, okay, the orc is not attacking. If the orc had a lot of infantry, a huge army, he would have attacked me by now. So he's thinking the orc is waiting for something. What is the something he's going to be waiting for? Something that can deal with my snipers. So I need something that can deal with vehicles. So he's opting to get some heavy destroyers out to be ready. And if there is a few turns before the fighting as well, heavy destroyers are slower, so they will reach the army, and then reinforcing raids will be faster to come in compared to having raids already in the army waiting, and then heavy destroyers being slow to reach the front line. And he is probably taking Praetorians at this moment,
Yeah.
probably feeling very confident considering he has time on his hands and he can keep producing units. So when he gets Praetorians, he will be much further ahead scaling wise to the Orc player.
That's true. And he don't see any infantry armor on Orc, and this means that he's ahead in terms of science. And what is also important for him that he's holding two relics. Oh, yeah.
Uh,
Or the
that was
Ortam made very good move because they can go and kill the spiders and take away the relic. Hahaha.
that's a tricky move, yeah. So they could just two of them just attack the boy as well. But it's a chance he wants to take because the worst case scenario for him is not gonna even lose his boy because he doesn't know where the third one is.
Yeah.
But maybe he's thinking in the worst case scenario, I'm just gonna lose a boy, which is not that. It's still a unit, but it's not that valuable anymore. And trying to create some chaos on that side.
The
He needs
only
time.
bad sign for him is that Umbras just used their hammers. So sometimes they use hammers not only, yeah, they are using hammers when they see enemies or something like that.
Yeah, even if they don't attack.
Yeah, that's true.
Uh, he does need to. He's slightly retreating his force in the middle. What he needs desperately now is time because fighting the Necron force right now is going to be a losing battle for him, and he doesn't want to lose so many units that he has. So until he gets something that can tackle better with the sniper, he wants to delay the fight. Thankfully for him, Jesus is very, very patient, and he is not trying to get almost any ground. He's taking his time as well, waiting for Praetorians and maybe some more heavy destroyers. And the Orc towns are the two top towns are very far away from the Necron army. So as long as he keeps backtracking a bit with his army, he can delay the fight, maybe until he has some units that can help.
Yeah, and I think at some point Jesus will turn on his crown and go for pops in his city because now we see that he's going. Oh, poor Necron warrior.
Like enough that he didn't have the spider get hit because the spider, due to the zone of control, would not be able to run away.
Yeah.
So the spider would have probably died on the next turn.
And also
Uh,
he summoned Scarabs here, so when Umbras will go and attack, they can go and kill the Necron warrior. What is good news for
they,
him. But the bad news for him is that Vespid with the hammer will have just enough to finish the Necron warriors.
and also the Umbras are in a position to possibly kill the spider right now if they
Yeah.
all three decide to attack the spider.
And they will
Luckily, the orc didn't
because
get attacked.
uh, yeah, they will attack because I guess it's a better target from their calculation and it has less HP. I'm not sure if it calculates the armor, but also you need 2 turns to unagger the neutrals. Oh, we see that
We
Orc.
have we have uh, Immortals moving in, taking overlords from two tank busters and the boys. Tank busters losing two models from the wounded Immortals. Snipers moving behind. Snipers not in position to fire at anything other than a boy unit. Uh, so this could be. He definitely needs to move up, but this turn specifically could just end up being for an immortal dying for nothing. But he will be able to move further in next turn. The Warboss is also in position. He has the temporary shield, which will be very important if he goes in to pop it. Boys and Tank Busters finish off the Immortal. That was one Immortal time for free, but Necron needs to keep moving up. Have the two spiders on the low ground. One of them spawned scarabs on the outpost. Orc is cleverly waiting in the forest. So the further he's in the forest, the harder it is for long range weaponry to hit him. Snipers have free range, but if a unit is in a two-layer forest, they need to go at one range to shoot anything.
Yeah.
And he's taking that to his advantage.
And he
Painboy
has
is out.
healing now, so yeah, he can like ignore the damage getting by Necron.
We're getting a second Cult of Speed on the third down, while the second down, while the third down is opting for more. Or the commando camp has been turned off. The orc will stay at 7 population. He is making some fungus to boost a bit his food production. Now with one food building running, two food buildings running, he should be fine food-wise to keep making those chip units mostly for the rest of the game. Don't see any other techs yet for the orc. We don't see infantry armor. We don't see battle wagon.
Uh, he just took. He just get not this turn, I guess, but he just get bigger choppers. And we see that Spider is almost dead, but he got so lucky that he can run away. And Necron Voin is just running away. And Ubers would an Agar, I think. But this Umbra can still go and kill the spider.
Yeah, spider's still in dangerous territory.
Yeah.
Yeah, we did the back tech bigger choppers, which is important, especially in this matchup, with Necrons having a lot of armor. And he has a lot of boys left. Necron going in, attacking tank busters. He knows that they are very important, doing some pretty good damage. Still producing heavy destroyers, not opting to get cannon upgrades. We have a trail of heavy destroyers coming in,
I think
which will be very bad
he,
news for the Warboss.
yeah, it's the main reason why he produced them. But as we see, the Warboss can one-shot the heavy destroyers. Also because he got the blood blessing on previous turn. So yeah, can be a little bit complicated for Necron if he get uh, to Necron warriors. Oh, to the heavy destroyers.
We have the Necron trying to push further. Only chip damage again this turn. He doesn't actually know that there is a Painboy. The Painboy has not gone for the cheaper upkeep. It has gone for the implants. And because of that, there is no aura on the units that will tell the enemy that there is a Painboy. So the Necron right now does not know that the orc units can be healed, so he might want to take a few turns to do chip damage, and then he will realize that he was doing chip damage for nothing.
Yeah.
Because of the healing.
And we see that boys are coming here. Some boys probably will run with granite and throw it onto the scarabs. They probably won't shot them. Yeah, and I think it's due to the HP nerf of the scarabs in the mod because, as I remember, early they weren't able to kill it, but I'm not sure about that.
I think it depends on the WAS stacks as well, as the WAS stacks increase the attacks for grenades as well.
Yeah.
Though he's still at very low WA, only 3 WA. The boys moving in, they took some overwatch, they're gonna kill a scarab unit. These boys could be focused down. Now that the snipers will be stationary next turn, they will be doing more damage.
Yeah.
But it's still just boys, and the orc is waiting for an opportunity. He still has a lot of units, and his opportunity would be to either get a vehicle to take Overwatch or for the snipers to not have Overwatch active so he can go in.
To be honest, I played a few games against Jesus, and I think Danagar should take some flash gifts because they are good against infantry, especially when there is no units like Rites or Triarchs. Okay, Danagar has 57 seconds. Will he go in because it can be very dangerous to go in now? That's the
He
question.
did take the overwatch of all the snipers in the front. There's only two snipers that still have overwatch. Uh, Three, not two snipers.
Yeah.
He's probably thinking about the war boss because if he goes in, he will have to go with the war boss. If he's not killing a unit a turn with the war boss, the attack is not going to be that effective. He decides against it, not going in this turn.
Yeah.
Still buying time on the forest. Forest being an annoying obstacle right now for the Necron, while the snipers have hard time to shoot, and the Orc boys can still kill units that at the far edge of the forest. Do we see Orc we don't see Orc cybernetic implants on the war boss because he has to keep healing every turn with the pain boy, so he doesn't have time to use the cybernetic implants.
Uh, Also, the spider is alive. It's alive. Somehow it
Yeah.
survived. I don't know why, but Umbras decided, nah, we ignore him. He's friendly. And we see that spiders now go in front. They can be also used to clean the forest. Hmm.
After he clears the tiles, yeah, that would be a good thing, but he cannot do it this turn as the
Yeah.
spiders has used their action. They're also very tanky versus uh, early units. They can get bombed by the tank busters because they are technically monsters units, but they're tanky versus
And
the boys and they
he sees the
regenerate.
werewolves now.
Yeah, the Warboss should have definitely taken off the Overwatch, as it does basically nothing from range 2, and now it revealed itself. Snipers do 1.5 to 1.3 damage right now, so he could
But he has
basically mass
like
his
a
sniper.
range damage reduction now, so it will be like a little bit more damage. Hmm.
A lot of Orc units are taking some heavy damage. The first Death Copter is still 3 turns away,
Yeah.
so that's gonna take some time. We don't have any battle wagons being tagged. We don't see infantry armor yet.
But he
We don't
has
see death
25
threats.
science, so I think that's the reason. Hmm. And we see that Jesus is making some pops. So yeah, he won't stay on 6. Uh, he has some extra all building producing. Oh, and he can turn on it, so his resources should be okay. And we see the first rise coming.
They're finally starting to get into raids. He says the Warboss as well. Warboss going in uh, and killing unit will have most of the time units in front of it, but raids will give him the opportunity to maybe finish it off, maybe trap the boss a bit, forcing it to attack the wraith and not moving because the other units will not be killing the wraiths very easily. So getting 1 or 2 relics can make sure that an overexposed war boss will die and won't be able to retreat, which will be a massive loss for the orc side. As unit wise, he's very outscaled currently. The war boss is going in, did not pop temporaries. Popped the temporary shield after taking the overwatch.
Uh, I
Bit of a
think
misplay.
I think he will go and heal it anyway. So it was planned. I think he's going to put. Ah, yeah,
I
it's full
mean,
on in now. Okay, one boy dead. If one more unit dies, there will be extra HP for death marks. He
There
now
is
knows there are extra 2 overwatches on this unit. By the way, I just knew that you can check overwatches by watching at the icon. There is a red square around it if the unit still has its action.
yeah.
So
The color of the player chooses is around the unit, not red specifically for our
yeah,
viewers. It is red this time because it's playing as red, but as you can see in the orc units, they have green outline around if they have their action. So the orc boy from the top side taking the overwatch. There is a mech on that side that can move in. Besides the move in with the mech, mechs have stick bombs. They also have a high penetrating gun but very low accuracy. He got the relic on the top side back from Jesus, now that the Umbras have stopped attacking. The Canopy Spider is still trapped. He could still hit the Umbras to kill it, but he doesn't know Spider is there.
and he's really low on time. He has 35 seconds. He have to do attack, and I think he would be able to kill only this death mark in the best scenario, and also uh, maybe this immortal, but it's on city tile, so I don't think so. He have to move faster, otherwise. Oh,
He
will he
decided
go to
not to
and
move
heal
in.
war boss? War boss is so it's dead war boss.
He did not heal the Warboss. So yeah, that
Yeah,
Warboss is gonna be taking
yeah, it can
damage
be the
from three
game.
stationary deathmarks. Deathmarks took some extra damage, but still, Jesus, if he notices that the Warboss is in danger, he can also pay to heal his deathmarks to get their last model back. But I don't think that's necessary.
Yeah,
Let's
and
see.
also he has one heavy destroyer that is able to attack the war boss.
Yeah,
Mm.
doing 5 of his HP. And then we're doing 3 damage per deathmark. So the Warboss will be down to uh, 3 HP. Yeah, he's going for the Warboss. That's a dead Warboss. He not heal the snipers. He does not need to heal the snipers. Mortals always do some
He
good
can summon
damage. Can move
his
the Warboss is dead. Demorale on the units. That was a very expensive Warboss. It was fully kitted out. Attacked a single time in its lifetime a Necron warrior unit and died. Basically, did more negative for the Orc army than positive. It lowered the WA, and then after killing a single unit, it morale dropped the entire army of the Orc.
yeah. So what can be the play for Orc? Orc need to get his Deathcopters, otherwise he can't go attack. And he lost like one, two, three, 2 units, and no, he also lose a boy now, and he need to go to attack. And also, Necron can summon a few spiders and send them to take out boss. So very bad situation for Orc.
I think the Orc has a very limited options right now because there's a lot of snipers, and when snipers are massed, it's very hard to push with infantry. And while the copters are tanky, they're still jet bikes, so they're not the best versus infantry. They're not vehicles, though it is the tankiest option he would have available currently. But after losing the Warboss, it's not going to be easy for him to clear these units as Necron units, snipers and deathmarks and immortals have 9 armor, which is very high. And there's a lot of heavy destroyers as well, still mixed in, that cannot do that much versus the units he has right now, but they are the excellent option to counter uh, battle wagons or deathcopters. They do good damage to them if they arrive. And raids basically will seal the deal. I think from this point on, it's Jesus' game unless he manages to lose it somehow.
Yeah, this
Uh,
is true. And also, all these snipers you can just get closer to city tiles, and Orc City is range 2 only, so you can just shoot
yeah,
units that are standing on the tiles. And if we just compare, there are much more tiles for Jesus uh, on his second and third city, so it can be much easier protected. Of course, he did this because he was out of energy and he wasn't able to produce something, so he just took some tiles. But yeah, uh, even if he lose his army, it will be easier for him to defend on his city than for Orc now, and they are a little bit much more grouped.
It's gonna be hard for him to lose his army. Most of his army, being also death marks, can't teleport out if they have low HP and they haven't been finished off.
Yeah.
I think he's just gonna push very hard the Orc now. The Orc doesn't have any options to deal with this army, and after his probably second down, the one uh, on the power starts getting sieged, we might see the GG from the Orc.
Yeah.
Because she cannot push into the snipers, and when the destroyers get in range from the city, they will be able to kill it pretty fast. The city morale will also drop pretty fast if a few units die around it. And the raids as well can do pretty decent damage to a town. And they will also reinforce very fast, so the next units Jesus make will reach the front line at the same time as the Orc units that he has the defender advantage. Because of that 5 movement, move through cover, move through everything. Wraiths are basically flyers with their Wraith flight.
Yeah, he just teleported to finish this tank booster. So he's killing like 1 unit per turn, and some units are heavily damaged. And he will even teleport 1 more unit to be able to finish these boys. And I think it's a correct play because you don't want to really left anything for your enemy. And I think now he shows that there is paintball because like there is no reason of doing warboss and not doing paintball in full infantry build.
Mhm. Yeah, the trading has been very bad. The Orc player has killed 3 Scarabs, 1 Immortal, and 2 Warriors, while the Necron player has killed 7 boys, 1 mech, 2 tank busters, and the warboss.
Yeah.
So even the value, like the orc had a sizable army. He should have attacked much earlier with that army because it was an early unit army. It's not an army he should have kept for so late into the fight. He let the Necron build up basically an army that countered his entire force and then took 2 very bad engagements and traded his entire army for almost nothing. So
Okay.
now he needs to be able to defend his cities, but just to defend his cities, he's gonna have to keep trading very badly just to stop the Necrons from working into the cities, which will ultimately end up losing him the game by losing the units. Like now, we have 4 tank busters killing a single deathmark. Those deathmarks that are there will have their full accuracy next turn, not having to move, and we're gonna say just from them like 2 tank busters go down. The Deathcopters are out. They do some pretty good damage to Necron units, as you can see. On range 1, they do a lot of damage to death marks.
And
Uh,
just check how good are rights against the tank boosters. When they reach them, it's almost GG, and we see like they're not in rage, but they will be in 2 turns in rage to fight. Yeah.
Also, Wraiths will be able to completely shut down the Deathcopters, almost doing half their HP. Deathcopters doing nothing versus them. Heavy Destroyers also doing half the HP of the Deathcopters, and there's not many Heavy Destroyers, but there are also not many Deathcopters. There's one coming out next turn. 2 is probably the only ones that will be seen this game. Yeah, the Death Marks started taking out now the Tank Busters. We need Immortals to finish it off. But he can also move another Death Mark, yeah. because after moving accuracy, he can still finish it off.
Yeah,
And last two Deathmarks not moving can kill the Tank Buster in the outpost, and the Immortals can almost finish the Tank Buster that's in the trees. It's a disaster. The Orc
yeah,
doesn't see the raids yet, but when he sees the raids, I think he's gonna tap out. And as we can see, there is no bombs on the Deathcopter, so he was actually not getting bombs. He was actually just very behind in tech. And on tier 4, he went for melee penetration
and
and for tank buster bombs.
yeah. Okay.
He's going for the loyalty right now.
So
Not gonna matter
he
that much at
decided
this point.
to ignore yeah, he turned on his, also he decided to ignore uh the Praetorians, and they won't be in time because even with 4 movements on jump, they need something like 6 turns to get into the fight. And in these scenarios, Rise are much better. Yeah.
Yeah, getting melee penetration at tier 6 would have been good because raids don't have that penetration. But the units he's facing don't have that much armor, so it's not that big of a deal. And getting
Yeah, sorry.
penetration for the heavy ghost is also very good. It's gonna help fighting the cities. And have the helicopters sinking in. But yeah, they're doing 2 damage. He might be able to finish the heavy destroyer here, but again, investing 4 different units, 1 tank buster, 1 mech, the helicopters, and 1 more unit to finish it off. He's fighting a losing fight.
I mean, he have to do something because if he
Yeah,
just his city are really split, so he don't have an option what he can do. He can finish with this turn booster, which is damaged, or uh,
the
mm,
problem also with so many snipers, one good way to defend is to let the enemy move into your city and wait for you with units behind the city. And after the enemy goes into the city and does damage and uses their actions, you counterattack back. But versus an army of snipers, that doesn't work, as the snipers will do no damage to the city, so they will just be waiting with their overwatch to defend the units. So even if you do that, you're still gonna have to go through the sniper overwatch to do the counterattack.
yeah.
So his best option is to try to hold this forest line. He's targeting the heavy destroyers, which is a good option, as they are the strongest units the Necron currently has to deal with the Deathcopter. Then the Deathcoppers can go in and do some damage, but without their bombs, they're not gonna be doing that much damage to units. And if the Necron units are not finished off, they're simply going to regenerate.
Yeah, that's true. And we see that Danagar hasn't used a single tank buster bomb. So
He doesn't have anything to use it
yeah, that's
as he's
true.
fighting
I
on the
mean,
country.
there was
Yeah.
spiders, but in general, it's like a deck tech. So killing 2 more units with Deathcopter, yeah, bombs, it could be the play. But now the Rights are doing their job. They just found some mechs that were damaged due to their weapon type. And we see that Necron is slowly taking all outposts and taking loyalty. Yeah. The spider
Yeah,
is full HP now. He can go and fight against these boys. Haha.
yeah. Yeah, he can summon some scalps as well on the top side to get that relic. But the relic right now is the least of the orc concerns. He is losing his army in front of his city. He has nothing to kill the snipers. The snipers are finishing off all of his units. The only 2 units slightly holding are the 2 Deathcopters. Both of them jinxed this turn, taking 33% less ranged accuracy. and one of them being in the forest, which gives it 66% to range damage reduction. But next turn, he won't have that luxury anymore. You cannot jinx as long as you want. It has a cooldown. So next turn, we're gonna see some Deathcopters being dealt with. Tankbusters moved in. He sees the Pain Boy for the first time, shoots it. Next turn, this Pain Boy is probably dead, as it cannot run away from the Wraiths unless he uses Here We Go and runs straight topside. And the Deathmarks will be able to find where it is simply by moving closer. And after this Pain Boy goes down, I think we're gonna see the GG.
Yeah, and
Or we might
Danagar
see it
is
even.
right in that the settings with low forest ruins is a bad, especially for infantry builds. On the other hand, I mean, in this game, yeah,
We see the GG.
yeah,
Yeah, Forest is definitely uh, a strong option for infantry and has a weakness for vehicles, but it's also the game, the nature of having a generated map. As we can see, middle and low on the map, there's a lot of forest. It's just not that much forest generated in the middle of the map. There was a bit of an open spot, but there
yeah,
was still quite a lot of forest that he could use. And they were
and
both doing infantry, so you can't complain
yeah,
about that.
infantry for boss. Probably Forest wouldn't choose change his minds. And again, Jesus just get in range of 3, he get 40% energy city, 80% ore city, and his main city was on production with some science outposts. I don't know, it seems like 8.5 start or something like that for Necron. He also had a 40 arc tom in this, yeah. And Danagar had a really good first city, but his second city not, yeah, wasn't that good,
Yeah.
and the third city, I mean, it was okay, but at that point Necron had too much. So starting from Sim off, we saw that Necron has had a high army, and
The
due to this fact, he was able to handle that much army, because otherwise he would have to build some ore in his main city, stop some production. But with such perfect start, it's hard to play against Necron. That's true.
the only thing that Jesus would have could have asked for as a better start would be uh, his terrain on the main city being desert. Desert on production is very strong for Necrons, stacking up that extra power, so you don't have to stop your production almost at all
That's true.
with the extra power. And
And
yeah, his secondary cities were very good, and he could have started building some more on his power city because he doesn't need to produce any more power anymore. As Necrons have upkeep only on Earth, so after you make enough power production to maintain your production, the only thing then you need is ore for upkeep. So he would have been able to, but he also didn't lose any units. He had an army that could finish the game, and if he lost more units, he would be even better on our upkeep. But as long as he kept moving forward with his army, he would either lose some units and then get his order back, or simply win the game as he did.
yeah, I mean, if Danagar had something like 10 more turns, he would have plus 4 production, and he would probably have some bombs on the copter, so he would be able to fight against this. But if we discuss the Necron start, I think that having Arctic is on production is much better, because you are making like extra science. You are making science in your city, and barracks give you extra science. So I think that the desert could be better if you go vehicles, because you have bonus from armories as energy.
Yeah, that's true. The vehicles are also a bit more power hungry. With your first vehicle, that's very strong, being on the 60 cost side instead of the 40 that Deathmarks and Heavy Destroyers are. being a bit more expensive. But yes, science, Arctic is also good for science, as every summoning core gives you 2 science, so it will stack up a bit more. And you can definitely also skip the book going infantry because of the summoning cores giving science, and you're not that far behind for it. But yeah, very nicely played. Jesus made no combat and tactical mistakes. He waited patiently until he had enough force. He didn't provoke the Orc at all early game, and then he moved slowly. The Orc did make quite a lot of tactical errors. He didn't try to do some fighting early, trade units when they were still lower numbers, and he would be able to trade better. He made the big mistake, blunder, moving his warboss out in the open without moving any troops in. So he basically lost the warboss for completely free on a turn without anything having been an attack from the Necron side or having even the possibility to counterattack back.
This is true.
So
And
excellently played by Jesus, except for a bit of some early energy problems, going second summoning core instead of going second energy core
yeah, you just
to
always
get his
hope
game
that you
slightly
will
more.
get some energy outposts, but there was like zero energy around Jesus, so
Also a bit unlikely with the
yeah,
outposts.
he should
But
adapt for that. But in a tactical part, he was doing everything okay. Maybe Danagar should group his army, go back, because and prepare to fight in this line of forest, especially with Warboss. Maybe he would need an axe for Warboss, so Warboss would be able to one-shot death marks. I can't say really, and the fact that he didn't go in uh, early, it's just because the map gave him a free relic, yeah, and I think the map really debated him into going and cleaning
so
that corner.
this is it for this matchup. Jesus will advance to the semifinals, where he will face the winner of match 10 from the lower bracket, which is going to be Colosseum versus Danagar again. So if Danagar wins versus Colosseum, he will have a second try versus Dr. Jesus to get his name back and his win on a best of 3.
Yeah. Th-
Thanks you all for watching. Yeah.
Thank you for commenting with me. Have a nice day.